Hey, everybody. This is another episode of Pick and Pass. Thanks for stopping by on these daily shows. I don't know what they are.
Just
It's a
call them the dailies.
podcast, the
It's a
daily, on the
daily
daily.
podcast. So
Yeah.
if you and we started doing these, folks, again. You've already seen them. We started doing these, break them up a little bit, give you guys some things to listen to on your way home, maybe on your way to the thrift store.
Yeah.
Quick and easy. So if you come across this, don't buy it, or if you come across this, do buy it. So far,
Yes.
we've not done that.
We need to do better, but we will.
Yeah, we
This is
we
stuff
will.
we're just randomly grabbing, really haven't looked up or done anything with. And we hope it's a pass. We hope it's a pick.
Some of these things, folks. Here's the thing. Some of these things, this should be a reminder to you. Take your smartphone into the store with you or to the yard sale with you
Yes.
and look stuff up before you buy it. Some of this stuff we buy just because it's cheap, and Ben's has got me into that now. I'm going to shoot him next time I see him. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Or something happened to you and I get blamed
I've
for it.
known you for 20 years and you never listened to me. Now you're going to blame me for listening to me? Come on. Come on. You can't just make shit
I
up.
figured
Oh,
you're
yeah.
doing so well. I mean, you haven't listened in 3 4 weeks, and you're still selling $300 a week. I haven't listened in 3 or 4 weeks, and I'm selling nothing.
That sucks for you because we talked. It's been 2 days since we talked, and I've sold 11 things.
Oh my god! So I figured just can my idea of getting to the
I'm
620 and just
yeah,
get a bunch of items out there for $1.
at 3,500 items, you're going to sell shit. All of it's long tail, none of it's fast moving. The fast moving stuff sells right away. I haven't listed that. That's why I'm not selling that. But I really do believe I'm going to get myself to 5,000 things, and I will make $50,000 a year just sitting here selling junk nobody else wants.
All right, well, I'm going first today.
Okay, go ahead.
We're
Let's see
gonna
what you
take
got.
turns. So you're starting to see these everywhere, and here's the thing: these are kind of, I'm going to call them knockoffs. They're not Stanleys.
Yeah,
These are just standard everyday tumblers. They've got corporate logos on them. They may not have. This one just says You Rock 2024. But I noticed that we are getting a Redemption collection of these. I didn't pay for these. These were given to me.
yeah,
We're getting a Redemption collection that they're starting to expound out, and we use them. We do use
yeah,
Tumblr, and I think a lot of people do. But we're starting to get so many given to us by different corporations and different all this stuff. And every time we go to a conference, I get one. And every time my wife has to go because she's an accountant, she gets one, or company gives her. I mean, so in fact, I think I'm on my second like AAA one now. So which is pretty cool. I mean,
those
again,
are
I,
cool.
I love a good tumbler. And to be honest with you, folks, I'm gonna tell you the best use for a tumbler, especially if it's now this one here is not going to be the greatest, but I'm gonna give you a little tip. If they've got the plastic inside of them,
Yeah,
they're good for like coffee and stuff like that. But if you get one, I wonder if this one's got the metal inside. No, this is a plastic inside too. If you get them with the metal inside,
mm-hmm,
they are great for a rum and coke,
mm-hmm.
Jack and Coke, Diet Mountain Dew, and Black Velvet. I mean, because it keeps the ice
Yeah,
and it gives it a little bit different. It gives it a much better flavor, in my opinion. And it's not that it's flavoring it because it's not plastic, it's metal inside. It's probably
mm-hmm.
because you're not getting any flavoring but it and the ice and everything together.
I've been over the last couple of years. I keep getting these for beers. You put the beer down inside.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
this one here, I got this year for Christmas for my kids because they know Dad's drunk, and it's cool because it comes with a little ice pack you throw in the freezer. You set
Oh
your beer on
yeah.
top, keeps it cold.
Yeah, so tumblers are everywhere, and you're starting to be able to. You're gonna be given everywhere you go. You're given one, and you're starting to see these. I'm starting to see them all the time at thrift stores and yard sales because they're starting to pour out of people's
Yeah,
cabinets.
and I always
But,
pass on them.
but let's see if they're actually worth anything. Yeah, I think most people pass on them,
I
but
do see them. I'm like, oh, I don't even look at them really. So this is good, and this is something for me. Maybe I'm going to learn something here, or maybe I already knew.
okay. So tumblers. Okay, so you see all different kinds. Now here's the new Stanley versus
Yeah,
or
yeah,
Barbie or whatever complete set. That's crazy. But here's the smaller ones. I think those are brand new that you can have engraved. But you're starting to get now. Here's the Stanley Cups. Stanley Cups are out. Yeti Cups There,
So
there you
we
go. I
know
mean,
about the ones who, so that WD-40 one's kind of neat.
that is cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
So
Guys
I'm going
like
to tell you,
would
hey,
dig that.
go back to the top and put used in or pre-owned because
Okay,
that's what we're talking about. No, go back out of there. You can,
let's do used.
or you could just sort by condition pre-owned. But that's fine.
That one's cool too.
Shotgun shells. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's a pre-owned Yeti for $15. Another pre-owned Yeti for $15. Here's a new listing Stanley for 15. Like I said, folks, they're coming out of the Stanley and Yeti are done. There's just so many of them that's kind of
Bic
neat.
lighter. That's cool.
Yeah. So there are some cool ones out there, and the cooler one's probably going to bring you a little bit more money. The lids look to me to be more valuable than the cups themselves because everybody
Yeah.
loses the lids. But I mean, it's not a bad item. Let's see if it sells. I mean, here we are on used 210,000 results for used tumblers. That's quite a bit.
Yeah.
Looks like the average price is around $15.
Yeah.
And probably the ones I've got are less than that. They're probably a $5 item. Probably lot them up and sell them in a lot. That's what I was thinking. Get rid of a bunch of them out of the cabinet. What is this? There you go, 10.99. There's some glassware. I don't know why they're calling that a tumbler.
Because that's a tumbler as well. That's a tumbler. It's just a glass tumbler.
These
You
are
should.
gemstone tumblers.
Yeah, exactly. They're tumblers. Too
Um,
wide of a. Go
I got a
back and
bunch.
make it
I got a bunch
insulated.
of them. If I can spell insulated,
I can't
is
spell
that how
it.
you spell it? No.
Yes.
Used insulated tumblers 20. Well, that come up.
Okay, now go back to the other one because 5% sell for rate if you just use the word tumbler.
Well, no, here we go. Used insulated tumblers, 44,000. And now I'm going to take
4,400.
4,400. Yeah, 4,400. Now I'll go back to advanced, take this back off,
Mm-hmm.
search 22,000. 22,000 listed for used insulated tumblers and
5%. So
4,400.
it's the exact same number. It's the exact same number, man.
So, so about a 5% sell through rate. So not great. But folks, if you're already getting them given to you,
Yeah.
and you've got a bunch coming out of your cabinet, wash them up, clean them up, take the ones that look the best, lot them up, and put them on there for sale. You make a few extra bucks back. I mean,
Yeah.
and like I said, they are. We go through. We go through at least 10 of these a week. At least 10, because my wife and I both take them. I drink cold coffee; it keeps it cold. She drinks hot coffee; it keeps it hot. I mean, we go through them, and then Ben's likes the ones with the beer topper. I mean, if you find those are even
I
more.
use one of those. I use the same one over and over all week long. I don't understand why you're going through 10 of them.
We wash them out. We put them there and then wash them up. You use the same
Yeah.
one over and over.
Like in the morning, I make my coffee in my insulated Auto Plus mug, and I go to work, and then I come home, bring it in the house, and I wash it and set it next to the coffee machine.
Oh,
Use it as my coffee.
we don't do it that way. We set them on the counter and they all get washed, hand washed at the end of the week.
Yeah, I mean,
We rinse them out and then they get hand washed and put in the
yeah,
cabinet.
I wash it every night. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a fool.
It's just a little no, it's just a little different. It's just a different way
I
of
do
doing
have
it.
a whole cabinet full of them. That
So now you know if you're only using
Mhm.
one, heck, lot them up, put them on there. I mean, it's got a
Yeah.
5% sell through rate.
Yeah, actually, I had bought my wife a Washington Commanders, or it was a Washington football team. I listed that. It was I forget a name brand. I listed that for $20 and sold it like in 2 days.
Yeah,
I
and
had
that's
some
the thing. If
Buccaneers
it
ones, that sold right away, and I had some Ford ones that I got from my old job that were like tumblers, and they were like for
see, I've got
some Wounded Warrior ones that
yeah,
Ford put out, and I had six of them. I'm down to one, so they do sell, especially the new. Those were all new, never used. So
I've got a AAA one that's for employees only.
yeah, you can probably sell that.
So yeah, I probably could. It's an employees only tumbler. Like you have to, you get become an employee and you get certain achievements and you get this particular tumbler. And I got it, and so I mean, it doesn't mean
Yeah, so
anything to me.
I was listening to another podcast, and they were talking about hats. They sell hats, and I sell hats for everything. This is a Central Tractor hat. I'm keeping this because it's mine. But that one guy said, "Oh, you can't legally sell Domino's hats and Papa John's hats." I looked it up. He's full of shit. But the idea is that somebody could buy this hat and it says Domino's and show up with a Domino's box and knock on the door and rob them. I never even thought about that. Who thinks about that?
People who are thinking about things to do that.
Exactly. That's crazy.
And of course, I always question when back in the pandemic while we were wearing masks in the bank. All my life, I
Mhm.
was told you can't have a hat on, you can't have a mask on. Then all of a sudden, if you don't have one on, you're not coming in here. I'm like, this is kind of
Exactly.
ironic.
We should have become bank robbers. Hey, so if you want to see a good movie, Netflix. You have Netflix, right? No,
Yeah,
you have Amazon Prime.
yep.
Chiefsaholic.
We'll
There
see.
was a guy. There was a guy who used to dress up as a wolf and go to the Chiefs games. He was going to all these games, and nobody could figure it out because he said he was. And he says, "Oh, I manage 2 warehouses. That's why you can afford all this." No, I manage warehouses. You can't afford to go to every freaking game. That makes no sense. Turns out he was robbing banks and then using that money to go to the games. It was a neat documentary. So if you haven't seen it, Chiefsaholic on. It was worth watching.
Anyway,
Just
did I go first?
yes, you did. I got mine
Oh,
here.
you got your item. Let's see what it is.
So he's yeah. Shut the f up. That's how he is. He treats me like that. Help me. He beats me on the weekends.
I don't. Yeah, that's it. I drive 10
Yeah,
hours.
he
10 hours.
does. He
One
shows
way.
up. He opens the door in the nose and just drives back home.
10
I'm so
hours.
scared. I got
20,
that's what. Whatever you want, boss. Whatever you want
20-hour drive. That's the
for one good punch. I've known people that I'd drive 20 hours to punch him in the nose, but
I
I'm
know
different.
anybody. I would drive 20 hours just to punch
Turn around and leave. All right, this is it. Dale Earnhardt playing cards in a. It's a metal case. These are sealed.
you. Here's the thing about Dale Earnhardt stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to say pass, and here's the reason I'm going to say pass. 20 years ago, 10 years ago, even 10 years ago, I would have bought a lot of Dale Earnhardt stuff. I have a Dale Earnhardt pocket watch right now, certified, whatever. The Dale Earnhardt, it is one of his, and it's the one of the top. I cannot sell that sucker to save my life. Nobody wants Dale Earnhardt stuff anymore. So I would say pass on it completely. I'm going to say it's probably playing cards is probably a $5 item with a 0% sell through rate.
All right, let's look and see.
I pass on
All right,
all stuff like that,
Dale
especially
Earnhardt
Earnhardt Red.
deck playing cards metal tin. That's what I put in. $14.99 plus shipping, $12 free shipping,
Yeah,
$5.99
five
plus
ninety nine is
shipping.
more like it.
$5 is where you're
$5.
at.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
$5 is where it's going to be. 12.50. You know, so it's all over the place. But I think it's a
Everybody kind of
$5 item.
ditched their Dale Earnhardt. Well, one right there was Junior. Scroll back down. Scroll down. The number 8. That's Junior.
Okay.
And that's not Senior.
Well, I should have put senior in
I
there
don't know
so he
what
would.
happened to Junior. I don't know why he's not still racing. But anyway. All right. So how
Okay,
many's
so
there?
1,400
Okay.
sold, available
Available. 1,400 available. 2 sold.
if we're lucky. 0 sold.
Sold. So I was right.
There's the exact same thing I have. No,
There.
look, that's the exact same thing I have.
Yeah, it is. It has. So scroll down. Let's kind of get an estimate of it. You said it was
1, 2,
1,400
3,
available.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is which. Yeah, why didn't that come out 8? There's a shit ton sold.
Yeah. So is it the way you're searching it, and you just want to take one of their things and grab it, and one of those ones that's already sold, just the title off of it, and do a search for that? Yeah, just copy and paste one of the titles on one of the ones that sold. Find the one that sold for the most money. Scroll down. Not $4.99. I mean, give yourself the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, I'm doing it, but it takes me to another screen, which doesn't.
You don't have to do that. Just copy right there. Highlight and copy the title.
Where the hell is it? There it is. Two sold.
Yeah, but then there's a bunch more down there too.
This is the
So
one. 2001 NASCAR Earnhardt. But that's the exact one. That's the exact one. So let's just say 2 sold.
let's say like as I saw like probably 15. So let's say 15 sold, and let's take it out. I mean,
out
because
of 1,700. So it's like less than 1%.
yeah, and I'll even give it the benefit of the doubt and say 100. A
Yeah.
hundred sold divided by 1,700. That comes out to 5%, but it's probably less than that, folks. It's probably more
I
like
say it's about a 1% sell through rate,
I
and
was
it's
going to
probably
say a
something
one
you
to
should
two percent.
ignore and not buy. This is an older item I've had for a while. It hasn't sold, so I know it's been around for 2 years and it hasn't sold, so it ain't worth a jack. But I was looking for something to put up here, and I was like, oh, that's neat. Let's see what it, maybe I'm overpriced.
Here's
But
the thing I would say about if you've got Dale Earnhardt stuff, if you can get like if you had the die cast, one of his die
yeah,
casts, lot it together, you'll get more money. That's the only way to sell some of this stuff. And here's the thing: a lot of your other drivers for NASCAR, their stuff will sell for a lot more money. Earnhardt was great at one thing. Now, I'm not going to knock his driving. I think he was a good driver, but what he was really astoundingly good at was marketing. He was a marketing genius. And so,
yeah. I
I
put
mean, his
lot
a lot.
Dale Earnhardt lot, and nothing came in. So I think he's dead. I know he's dead.
Well,
He's
we
not
know he's
Elvis. I'm
dead,
not worried.
but I don't
But
think
I
he.
think his stuff is done. I don't think his collectors are buying anymore. I think he doesn't have a following that preceded his death, so that people keep collecting it, like
He
Elvis,
was
right? Like,
he was one of those like Michael Jackson, and again,
mhm.
don't hate me, don't hate me, folks. But
I didn't know he diddled boys.
Michael Jackson, his stuff went through the roof for 9 months after he died.
Yeah,
It was astounding. A cassette tape. You can go back and look at it. A cassette tape from the '80s, Thriller, just a single Thriller, sold for like $500, and it was a used cassette tape. So, but now Michael Jackson stuff is not. You can buy it all over the place.
yeah,
So it's not. Dale Earnhardt's the same way. He didn't hold his value. Part of it is because, again, he was such a great marketer. Yes, he was a good driver. I'm not knocking that whatsoever. So if you're a Dale Earnhardt fan, don't send us hate mail. I'm not saying he was a bad driver. I'm saying he was best at marketing. He made a ton of money, and his sponsors made a ton of money through his marketing, which is what NASCAR has
mhm,
become anyway.
yeah,
Dale Earnhardt Sr. would have been successful in anything he went into because, again, he was a marketing genius. But there is so much stuff out there with his number and his name on it, which is why the number's retired, folks. I mean, I know that it's retired because it was Dale Earnhardt. I get that. But
yeah,
another thing is nobody can take that number really and make any money with it. That
right,
logo number 3, you're not going to make any money because it's so associated with him and everything, and it will for a long time. But his stuff it went up. It was good, good, good. If you were selling Darren Earnhardt merchandise while he was alive and racing, you were doing well. Of course, he would probably sue you if you didn't have his permission and him getting some cents off of it, which he was good at doing that too. Then he died. It shot up, and then and a lot of it too is the younger generation has forgot him. Probably the only old time driver that you still can make money off of their stuff is probably Richard Petty. And the reason for that is because Richard Petty was a great racer, a terrible marketer. And so there's not a whole lot of his stuff out there. And he lives here close by where I live. He's a very shy guy too. So he wasn't, and he doesn't seem like it is, but he's an introvert. Oh, he's bigger than life, but he was an introvert. He always wanted to get away from fans as quickly as possible. He's a nice guy, but he wanted to get away because he had anxiety and he didn't want to be exposed to that. And so he didn't sign a whole lot of autographs. Whereas
yeah,
Dale Earnhardt was a awesome
hmm
showboat. I mean, he'd sign everything from belt buckles to tits. I mean, he didn't care. Uh,
belt buckles to boobies would have matched better. I don't know why you gotta say
the
tits.
boobies. Anyway, and I
He
know
signed
that
tires to tits. Yeah, that would
he
make sense.
tires to tits. Yeah, he signed tires to
Come on,
tits,
man.
and I know he did because you'd see him on TV.
Mhm.
Some girl goes, and he'd sign. I mean, a guy like Richard Petty, that he would have been so nervous his signature wouldn't have been legible on the ladies' book. But You
Hey,
know,
what do you call 250 indigenous Americans who had mastectomies?
I'm afraid this is going to get very bad for us to have to cut out.
Come on.
I think this is it for our daily here. But folks, yeah, Dale Earnhardt stuff, Dale Earnhardt Jr. stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
if you like it and you collect it, source it and get a
I've been
great
yeah,
price for it. But
I've been selling a lot of stuff like those common cars, common peoples. I got a bunch of them in with some other stuff. They sell for $15. They sit forever. I just sold one today, which was I think Davy Allison car, and $15. I mean, I got 14.95 out of it. But if you get something uncommon that is a NASCAR thing, like the something from the truck series, because they didn't make as much of it, or I
hmm
got like the Camaro, like throwback Camaro, stuff like that, you make a lot more money. Or even just a variant for a driver that drove one paint job for one race. Those would be worth a lot more because they didn't make as many.
and that's the
Overall, though,
problem with
yeah,
some stuff in sourcing, folks. Is you buy some stuff and it pops up and there's 500,000 of them listed on eBay. That's why you've heard me say
yeah,
on the dailies here. Well, it's got a good low number, and
yeah,
sometimes we chuckle about it because it could mean that it sells zero.
yeah.
But
Or there's just not enough of it. People haven't put them out there. But yeah, with NASCAR, you really got to be careful. That's a waste of money. I had Jeff Gordon cards. I actually those sold, but I sold them for 4.95 for 4.95 plus shipping. They sold. These have been listed. They're item number 8282. So I would have listed them 3 years ago, and they're still here. All right. Hey, that's it for the day, or yeah, not the week. It's the day. Yeah, we'll talk to you again
anyway,
later.
for dailies.
See you.